People paid for this. There's an extra responsibility. The next match illustrates that. Pockets versus a dork jobber. Seriously, on pay-per-view. On pay-per-view. A match that nobody cares about. A match that nobody cares what I have to say about it. The match is on pay-per-view, and apparently, as I was fast-forwarding watching the time counter, they apparently gave this 10 minutes on pay-per-view because this stooge is the Money Mark's favorite wrestler. So people didn't get to see, well, for good or bad, the Brody Lees or the Lance Archers or the Jake the Snakes or the anybody else's of the world. I get Jelly's still in quarantine, I'm pretty sure.
Where is Brody Lee?
Well, I don't know. Maybe he was around Jelly. But I'd call the Consumer Protection Agency if I'd had to sit there and watch this and couldn't fast forward it. On pay-per-view, Pockets versus the dork jobber because the Money Mark's favorite wrestler is a goddamn goof that sticks his hands in his pockets. So was anything happen in this? I didn't watch it.
Well, let me start by saying I didn't watch the whole thing. And I have been, like with Kenny Omega, I haven't been as hard on Orange Cassidy as you, although when I think back, I've hated almost every segment he's been in. But I've seen some good things. So I've seen some things where I'm like, okay, maybe, we'll see what this is. So I watched this match, because you know what? Shouldn't say everyone, a lot of people are raving about John Silver, that he shows a lot of personality, that apparently on the Young Bucks right-wing comedy show, he's one of the highlights, he's pretty funny. He's obviously been one of the main people who's turned the Dark Order from being this sinister, dark cult into this group of comedy friends. I said, okay, let me see where this goes. And I got about a minute into this match and I realized, and I'm not even one of the people that hates Orange Cassidy as much as some others do. I said, I have seen this before. I've seen all of this before. The slow hands into the pockets, the slow kicks to the shins. It's been over a year. I've seen the exact same thing over and over. I've seen his entire act. I know you hate that term with wrestling. It fits here. I've seen his entire act over and over and over again. And as entertaining as John Silver may be, and I must admit, I have found him to be somewhat entertaining. I wasn't going to waste any of my time when I knew this was going to be a long show, and when I also knew there was news happening on TV. I wasn't going to waste too much time watching this. I fast-forwarded a little bit. I saw John Silver rip the pockets out of his jeans. I thought, all right, about time. And then I fast-forwarded so much, I didn't even see the finish. I read that Orange Cassidy won, but I've seen his entire act. I've seen everything he can do. I've seen him be the sloth. I've seen him actually speak. I've seen him do his fire up and do high spots all of a sudden and wake up. I've seen him do his hands in the pockets, dives and kip-ups. I've seen everything he does. I don't need to see it anymore.
And this surprises you.
No, it doesn't surprise me.
No. You should have seen this coming. We have seen this coming. When you are a comedian that only knows one joke, your act doesn't last very long.
Yeah, eventually you didn't want to hear Dice Clay do his nursery rhyme because you heard them all.
Exactly. Hickory dickory dock. Shut the fuck up. I've heard it. I know where it's going. Orange fucking Pockets worked just like a lot of these guys worked. And this is, again, what, I'm sorry, the indie crowd this generation that's grown up and doesn't understand what it was like in days gone by when the veterans were in charge. That joke, that one joke that comedian has works in every fucking club, because he's in a different club every night in front of 200 or 300 people telling a joke in person. It's not on TV. That's why all the comedians hated to go on the Tonight Show, because then they had to work up all new material. They'd spend a year doing new material to get a new act together. They'd do it on the Tonight Show one night. They had to change their shit. This stuff worked on the indie level because the fucking idiots saw it in person and they popped for it in their little building. All the silliness. But once you put it on TV and you're starting to see it every fucking week, it's the same shit over and over. And some way they'll figure out that he can save the chuckle fucks. when they get in a little beef. Or he can jump off the top rope and fall onto people from out of nowhere. Or you can just see him pop up. I'm surprised every once in a while they don't have somebody go in the bathroom and lift the lid to take a shit and there his head pops up.
Remember early on in AEW, there was that one backstage brawl where all of a sudden they accidentally kicked open the bathroom door and he was just standing in the bathroom.
Yes, he was hanging out in the bathroom like he was waiting for somebody else to finish with the stall that had the glory hole. You know, fuck. And you would think that AEW would have the budget where they could knock a decent-sized hole in each one of those stall walls for just such an occasion. But anyway, no, we didn't watch this. I don't care about this. Nobody else does either. Any closing thoughts on Pockets?
No, like I said, I haven't been as negative as you and others have. But with that said, I've seen his act. I don't feel like I need to see it anymore. By the way, that goes for the best friends as well. I have enough of them. But specifically with him, because he's purely a comedy act, who then breaks into seriousness and then goes back to the comedy. I've seen it all. Even if I liked it, I've seen everything he can do.
I'm just saying, if you haven't figured out long before now that you've already seen everything, then you need help. You need somebody to talk to. You need counseling, Brian Last.
Me?
If you haven't figured, but you know what the definition of insanity is? It's doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result. Every time you watch a My Little Dog Pockets match, you are exhibiting signs of insanity because you're somehow subconsciously thinking that this time it'll actually be good, and you know it never will be. Folks, if you need counseling, if you need somebody to help, if you need somebody to talk to, especially in these days when you're closed up in the house, because there's still a pandemic, even though the world is safe for democracy again, everybody's still contagious. And that alone would bring you some anxiety. So stay in your homes and use our friends at BetterHelp. BetterHelp is professional counseling done securely online. You can start communicating in under 48 hours with folks with a broad range of expertise available. It may not be locally available in your area. You don't want to go out. Don't worry. This is service for clients worldwide by phone or video sessions. You don't have to sit in a waiting room, and you can work with them to pick your therapeutic matches so they can make it easy and free to change counselors if you need to. But it's more affordable than the traditional offline counseling because BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. Brian, I urge you, if you continue to watch matches involving our little dog Pockets, visit BetterHelp.com/drive. BetterHelp, HELP.com/drive. Join the over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional and get 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/drive just because you listen to us. Brian, I encourage you to take advantage of our own services here.
I may have to place a phone call after we're done with this recording.
BetterHelp.com/drive. Did I give you a phone number?
I guess I'll be emailing or going to a website.
Well, there you go. Don't forget /drive.
Okay.